Hey, Susie and Doug, it's Max. I wanted to share with you another CMA that I did. The first one, I did it just like an appraiser would do. Uh, I started with a half-mile radius geographically from your house, and then after not finding comps, I doubled the size of that search. And when I was looking at those, I realized that Raleigh Downs is very unique in that area of Parker. It was one of the original neighborhoods. And then the other neighborhoods that are so close by are developed by large tract home builders, Richmond and Tally, and all of those guys that don't build a product that looks like Raleigh Downs, not the custom homes. It's every fourth house is the same floor plan and all that. So that's exactly what an appraiser would do. And then if they're not finding the comps, they're going to move outside of the geographic area, but they have to really try to stay within that area. There has to be a real legitimate reason to move geographically, and I think that your house warrants that. So, knowing that the Pinery and Raleigh Downs are the neighborhoods that were built in the same era, the same custom look, uh, that's what I did. So I started with the same data from public records, and then I went and did the MLS search, this time looking in the Pinery. Geographically distant from your house, but that's going to be the closest comps. So this search gave me 7 houses, 2 of them that are active and under contract, two that are under contract, 2 that are active, and 3 that have recently sold. All 2 stories, all bracketed. Within a percentage of the size of your house. And let's just take a look and see what the results led us. So I downloaded these into my own spreadsheets that I can then find averages and manipulate. It's still not a huge subset of properties to find averages, but it's better than what we had by looking at the neighborhoods directly around Raleigh Downs. So right now there's 2 homes that are active. And again, if you look at the above grade square footage and compare that to the finished square footage, you can see that both of these have finished basements. On average, they're large. Since they have finished basements, they're going to have more beds and baths than yours. But the above grade square footage is very similar to yours. It's within 20 feet, 20, 30 feet. The finished square footage obviously is going to be different because they have their finished basements, but the total square footage very, very close, within 100 square feet. So these are better comps we're finding in the Pinery than north in around Main Street. And then the basement sizes. Although these are finished basements, they're similar in size. So these are priced right now on average at the 657. That's a little bit high even for them, because if you look at the days on the market, these are going on 4 and 5 months on the market, and they haven't sold, or they haven't even gone under contract. So these guys are priced too high. Under contract, these we don't know exactly what they are under contract at, but when they went under contract, they were on average 530. And looking at these, the above grade square footage versus the finish, one of them has a finished basement and one of them does not. This one that does not, Lightning View, has the same bed bath numbers as yours. This other one has an extra bathroom in the basement. So again, looking at them, they compare closer to yours. Yours is a little bit larger on average than these 2 under contracts as far as total square footage. And then the lot sizes, when we look at the lot sizes, looking at the active lot sizes, they're about 50% larger than yours. Uh, Looking at the under contract lot sizes, this one's a little bit larger than yours, and this one is like triple. So that lightning view is back there in Misty Pines. It's a subsection of the Pinery. It doesn't have acreage, but this is a little bit more than half an acre lot. Um, Looking at the solds, and we're going to take a closer look at these solds. On these solds, all three of them have finished basements, and that's going to result in them having more beds and more baths than yours. But the above ground square footage is within 50, less than 50 square foot, so very comparable in size a home. And the finished is obviously going to be more with their basement finishes. And their total square footage, yours is a little bit larger, about a little less than 300 square feet larger than these houses. So very similar size houses. And the basements, your basement is about 230 square feet larger. So these were priced at, and they sold, these are real numbers, at $579, and they're all of the same era as far as the date that they were built. A little bit larger lots. One of them is right in there with yours, but the other two are larger. So if you look at the days on the market, so we can analyze this data in lots of different ways. We're definitely analyzing data, and statistics. It's interesting. So these that are active and haven't gone under contract have been on the market for a good 4 months. And the ones that went under contract were on the market for less than a month, 24 days, until they went under contract. And then these that sold very quickly. On average, they went under contract within 6 days. So that's either telling me that there's a shift in the market, that things aren't selling as quickly as they were, or that things that are priced appropriately sell quickly. And I think that's where I'm going to lean toward. Things that are priced appropriately will sell quickly, and things that are needing some price adjustment and overpriced are taking a long time for the people to realize that they're overpriced. Now, are they overpriced because that's where they started overpriced, or because of a market shift? I don't know. So let's take a closer look at some of these houses, the ones that have sold. Let's look at the sold comps and see how they compare to yours. Now, I need to get into your house and get upstairs and get in the basement and really take a closer look and get out in the backyard and walk around and take a more detailed look. I've been in the main level, but I need to do the tour. So looking at this house, again, it's in the Pinery, so it has a different feel, of that mountain feel. But this one has a pretty nice looking exterior, comparable to yours as far as it doesn't have as much brick, but it's got a nice curb appeal like yours. And then here's the interior. These camera lenses are deceiving. These rooms, this is a wide angle lens. And so like this light seems like it's dated. There's some datedness into here with the wainscoting, painted wainscoting, and they're nice cabinets when they were original, but they're not what people would choose anymore. With the soffit above the in the kitchen, I had that in my house. I still have that in some of my kitchen. And then this, to me, looks like that was an oven that was removed, and then they threw some wine racks in there. So it's kind of funky. The Pinery definitely has some funk to it. Uh, but it's a nice house. They got uh, backsplash, kind of a mix. It's not what people would choose if they were going out looking to buy things to upgrade their kitchen. They wouldn't choose those style of things. And so it has the half wall in between the eat-in kitchen. So there would be a table here right in front of the sliding glass door. That's typically, this light is for a table in the kitchen. And this area is not as big as it appears in the photo. And then there's a half wall over to the family room that connects to the kitchen. So here's the big deck out back, and this is the South Pinery Parkway that's right here. So that's there's a big distance between you, but you definitely look out and see that view, and you'll see cars driving along that road pretty typically. It's a busy street. Not really updated in the secondary baths. This is the dark wood and the wood trim that was popular in the mid '80s. My house had it also, and it's not what people would choose right now. So here's the laundry room. The deck railing, that's the same decking that I have on the outside of my house, is what they put on the inside. Pretty typical early '80s. It's a nice space. It has nice big rooms and vaulted ceilings and light and bright, but it needs some attention. It needs some updating. It's kind of a funky '80s tub in there. Yeah, and so just to look at the deception of the lens, the camera lens. So here you have this tub that's all long. You can't even fit the tub in the picture, and the door looks like it's a massive door. And then this is kind of crunched here. But then you look at this view and look how compressed the tub is, and the generosity of the lens goes to the shower, makes it look larger. So a little bit of deceptive photography there, and that's, here's some more of it. So it's a garden level basement. It actually has a walkout, but it's garden level, so it's not, there's soil halfway up this wall. And it has a basement bath. At any time, if I'm going too quick, you can just put pause. And so this is the one that backs up to that big open space, but then there's the parkway. So if we look at this next one's on Winlawn, and you can always refer back to the chart here. This one on Winlawn sold for $620. It sold for $620, and it has 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. But let's look at the finishes, because that's what's probably going to affect the price on this one. Might be the finishes. 3-car garage. It has a really big lot. Vaulted ceilings. The setting, the lot. So this is a new kitchen with new cabinetry, drawers, gas, and granite and stainless. Has the new hood, new pendant lights, all the appliances. So it's a full kitchen remodel. Has a microwave in the island, and then a double oven over here. And so everything's new and bells and whistles in the kitchen. And so this is the family room off of the kitchen with the fireplace, and then the deck and the trees. And then this is the living room. This is the formal living room that's kind of connected there. I can't quite figure it out. Looks like, is that a TV? Or is it a mirror? And then I think this is the kitchen in here. Maybe. So the master bedroom, opening with the French door to the top of the stairs, and then it has its own deck out the back. And here's the master bath, kind of a mid upgrade. Secondary bath. The basement has a bar and it's a walkout basement. This is the master deck, and then here's the main level deck, and the main level deck has you're backing to an open area. I think this one backs to the golf course. No, it backs to well, there is a section of the golf course back in there, but you're not right on the fairway. And then this last one is the one on Powell. Powell's a busier street. This one has a total remodel to it. So they ripped out the trim work and put in white trim and redid the kitchen. And this kitchen is a little bit weird. So it's a galley kitchen, a little bit more like Anna's and Charlie's kitchen. It's a long hallway. And so it's an odd kitchen. The Pinery does have some odd stuff, and it's not nearly as long as it appears. But they put in a wine rack, and it has 2 sinks in the kitchen, and then there's the stove and the fridge. That wine fridge is what it is. And then here's a top-loading microwave. So it's nice and modern, a lot of neat modern stuff. This kind of gives you more of a feel of the kitchen. If we look at this picture and look at how these things are laid out, and here's the stove, and here's the fridge, and here's the wine fridge, and then we go back to this one here, and it really it over exaggerates the distance, and there's the wine fridge and the stove. So anyway, it does have all new stuff, and the bathrooms have all been redone, and new fans and new flooring, this hickory flooring, and there's the bathroom, the laundry room, and so that one was a total modern remodel. And then the exterior looks nice, but it hasn't been detailed like the interior. The deck looks old. And this one is odd because it has a studio in the basement. So we already saw the laundry room up there. This is a secondary laundry. So it has a kitchen with a coil stove and a sink and a fridge and a dishwasher down in the basement. So a mother-in-law's apartment, or whatever you might want to call it. You can see it's not out in the woods by itself. There's the neighbor's house through the window there. And then there's this funky under deck space, which I don't know. It has all these lights up here. Was it a grow? Were they growing weed or something? And it's, yeah, I don't know what it was. So, it's under the deck. So I don't think that the deck is waterproof. I think that you'd get some water under there. So it's some Pinery weirdness. But it has a lot of fix on it. So that one's it's sold at $557. It sold at $557. So that gives us a little bit more of a better idea of what things are going to be going for. what yours would comp at. I think that yours should be closer in here to this price in that 580 range. I don't think it should go beyond 6. The pool is a kind of an enigma. Some people love pools and some people don't like pools. I've sold people pools that loved them and really enjoyed the outdoor space. And there's other people that don't even want to look at it because they just look at it as an item that they're going to pay for and have to maintain, either pay somebody to maintain or spend the time to maintain it themselves, and they don't enjoy that and they don't enjoy the pool. And then I've had also all the way to the other end of the spectrum, people that have bought houses with pools that immediately jackhammered them out, filled up the hole, and planted grass. So, you know, pools in Colorado, you can't really give a large amount of value to. It's not like in the Sun Belt in Texas and Arizona and Florida when you're flying in on an airplane and you're coming over the neighborhoods and you look down and you see all of those turquoisey pools. In those areas where pools are more common, then you can actually assess a value to a pool. But in Colorado, they're not common. And most people don't have them. And if most people don't have them, that's because a lot of people don't want them. In Phoenix, that's not the story. So I can't really, we're going to try to market to a person that wants a pool. We're going to really get some great photography and emphasize the pool because it is a dominant piece of the backyard. But we don't know exactly. It might be a buyer that just jackhammers it out and fills it up. So it's hard to give value to that. So anyway, I think that we're more accurate in this assessment than using the other homes that were close to Raleigh Downs. The Pinery is a better match for size of lot, and custom quality home. Again, a little bit older, and some of them need updating and some of them have it. But I think that this price range is more indicative. I need to get over to your house. I need to get upstairs. I need to get in the basement. I need to spend some time walking around and really lay my eyes on exactly what you have out there so that we can refine this number. But that's pretty much where we're at.